ready, Mika? All right, we rolling. All right, hold on. Hold on. So, I have a mentality as boss, as CEO. Um, I'm in the in real time. I'm investing every single thing that I have in my drink, and it's important sometimes for me to make sure that I'm balanced mentally so I make the right decisions, not based on impulse or emotion or anxiety, based on logic. And that's when I get it you. Pause. Um, Taje, therapist that speaks the same language that I do, healing is gangster to me. Healing should be gangster to any gangster. Walking around weak and wounded mentally, Nicolette, stay on the mic. I'm gonna get back up here. It it to me, it's weak to stay weak. It's strong to recognize your weakness and figure out how to fix it. Um, so full transparency, there's always a yin and a yang of feelings when your dreams are coming true. And Tajay, you're a therapist. You come from where I come from, and you got your doctor. You're a doctor. It's Doctor Tajay now.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. Wait a second, band. Let's make some noise for that. Why you ain't saying that? Wait, Nicolette. Let's do a little redemption real quick because he started from a place, and this is complete redemption. Let's get to that. He's a doctor now.
Try to build you up and crumble in the foundation. Mourned you like you died and now we got it cremated. Instead my blood, sweat, and tears like we're related. I threw this party of the year with your feet making. Leveled up to solve the problems that we created. For me to beg for your love till my knees aching. Put the world in the safe, it can't be taken. I remain gracious, they cannot defeat greatness. I can't sleep anxious, take this lightsaber. Still standing, I've been higher than the skyscraper. If you ever fuck with me again, you don't have a good end. Never do that, you should have again. God forgive me, I was leaning down straight. They gave me power every hour, every day. I'm gonna make a play, they gon' put it in my face. It's growing pains, but they saying it ain't safe. I need redemption. I need redemption. Yeah. Oh, redemption. Need redemption. Yes, sir. Need redemption. Yeah. I need redemption. Yes, sir. Redemption. I'm in this picture, yeah.
You know, as a CEO, there's no tradition to the way I deal with things, and I need music, but I also need therapy. Um, so I'm going through a couple of things right now. Number one, my dreams are coming true all at one time. First and foremost, having a family is my dream. And, you know, you've been with me through my fight, losing a baby, making a baby with Raquel, and all the challenges I've had with my daughters and my son. But right now, we're solid. We have a family. Um, Raquel's book is selling. We have a baby. All my children, and I think it's because of baby Dusko, have rallied, and we're just enjoying each other. Ava's been with me for the last month and some change. With the family moving around, that's my first dream. But I've been investing in having a network for the last 10 years to the tune of about 20 million. But I don't think people understand, like, as an entrepreneur, it's almost like hustling. You make some money, you re-up, and then you invest in more shit. And after Rockefeller and then after Rachel Roy, I wanted to invest in my dream. I wanted a network. And it's been about 10 years of investing about $1 million or $2 million a year into it, 3 years, 3 million. That's about 20, 30 million. But right now I have a family and I have to pick my daughter up in the morning and go to volleyball tournaments, and it takes a lot of time and being tired. But I've also figured out this ad thing with the network. And I've been really upset about the fact, and the reason why I haven't really focused on YouTube other than marketing is because I don't know how much they getting for the ad and how much they paying us. They never are transparent about that. So I can't talk about being smart and when it comes to the money, be dumb. So what I was able to do was find someone that could get around YouTube and Tubi and all those people and get right to where the ad source is and get what we're supposed to get. So that's happened. But at the same time,
So your life is going good.
it's going good,
No. Wait a minute.
but I bet it all.
Let's talk about that pause though, right? Life is going good, right?
Life is going good. I'm happy.
Then see when you had a hesitation before.
The reason why was because I've invested all my money in my dream.
But what I'm saying is the reason why I wanted to address that hesitation is because I've been saying this for a minute. Like healing is not a destination. It's an ongoing thing. Get what I'm saying?
But every
so
day
part
something
of
fucks
part
with
of that ongoing thing is acknowledgement. Get what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you know that none of this could be going good, meaning the business aspect, right? But these things, these most important things in your life, are going good. So life is good.
No,
You
life
say
is-
that with authority. Say
No,
it.
no, no. Life is great.
Yeah, that's part of acknowledgement. We
Well,
gotta
I
do
mean,
that.
you've been with me for when
Yeah.
things weren't with my family the way they are now.
Yeah,
And it seemed like they would never get right, but they're right.
yeah,
But that has to come first because that's the currency that means the most to me.
right.
But all my dreams are coming true. You got to remember, investing in something for 10 years and not getting your money back. To some people, if you don't give yourself enough affirmations after 10 years, you might think you're losing. But I was just waiting for everybody to catch up. But it's funny how people have misperceived.
You did a lot of work getting to this point.
Yeah.
And that deserves acknowledgement. So
I appreciate that.
for sure.
But then, like today, my dreams are coming true. For some reason, all of a sudden, my daughter and my ex-wife live in the same building as me. So I see my daughter every day while I'm here. And that's different for me. And going to all her volleyball practices and tournaments and picking her up and taking her to school. It's funny how things that people look at as chores, I look at it almost like it's delicacy. It's like an honor to be able to take my kid to
That's
school.
the reason. That's the reason for all of this.
Like I enjoy it.
At the end of the day, that's the reason. I think top of your reason list of doing well in life is for those moments, right?
100%. But in that moment, when I'm taking my daughter home, I get served for some child support shit that says I owe like 300 grand. And the thing about when you're doing well and you make a deal while you're doing well, especially child support, you base your child support on how well you're doing. But the worst thing to do is to base your child support on your best year. Because when you don't have the same exact best year, you're still accountable for the same child support. And unless you go to court and tell people, yo, I'm not having the best year right now. I can't pay out the same shit. You're still accountable for it, or you could go to jail. And, you know, for me, again, for the last 10 years, my family's company has been investing in a dream, head down, waiting for the rest of the world to understand how to buy what I'm selling, but also understanding sales and commercials and ads and, you know, like looking at something like YouTube and saying, how come they pay us, but we don't know how much they're getting for our content? And knowing business and instinctually, because like a Leor Cohen is running this shit, they got to be robbing. And then when I go look and see that YouTube made $6 billion last quarter, I could be wrong, but this is what I perceived it and interpreted it as. And they only paid out to their content creators $100 million. It's like making a dollar off every $600. So they get the benefit of the ad and the money from the ad, but they don't tell you how much they get, and they pay you what they want.
Well, let's go back. Let's go back to the child support thing.
Oh, okay. I don't want to
because we didn't. Yeah, you know that's.
Well, what
that's
I
a
was
big
saying
thing.
is,
So,
while
like,
I'm investing in something else, I might not be making the money and the profit, so I can't afford to pay out what I was when I was having EBITDA of $8 million a year. So you can't judge like how much I'm gonna pay out by how much I made 20 years ago.
Okay.
And there's been a recession, and there's been a pandemic, and I've had to start a new company from scratch without any money to start it with. I had to do it rubbing paws, two sticks together. So I can't pay out 300,000 or 400,000 a year in child support because I ain't making that. But I'm not ashamed of that because I have things to show for it, but it hasn't profited yet. I'm like a proud broke, but it ain't broke because I have things to show for it. If you have bills of 80,000 a month and you made 70 that month and you 10 short, you feel broke. But you made 70,000 that month. You know what I mean? But that's business. I wish I could make 70,000 and just fuck it up on clothes and jewelry. But I gotta pay a staff. I gotta make content. I gotta market. And there's bills to be paid. So it's crazy how the people that benefit the most from when I'm profitable, how mad and entitled they are when I'm not making money. To the extent I can go to jail for it.
Yeah.
And because of where I'm from, going to court is like the most pussy shit to do. But you got to do it to protect yourself. But I can't unless I have to.
So what's the number one thing that's bothering you the most about that situation right now? Because you got served today, right?
And I served it. Because the person that served me knows I ain't got it. And they're getting it like my share. So my child support was based on my equity in Rachel Roy. Mm-hmm. And now Rachel has that equity in Rachel Roy, so she's getting the money I was making. But she still expects me to pay the same child support. But she got the money I was making. And I put $8 million in that company. I never got it back. So I have to now start a new company without any working capital. So I had to flip. So while I'm doing that, it's like, yo, you got the money I was making, pay the bills. But you can't be mad at me and make me feel bad if the money that I had to give the kid, you got, and you still expecting me to pay that while I'm investing and losing money for years.
Do you think it was a personal strike to you?
Always. But it's all part of the game. I've learned to live with it. It's part of being a rock star. But I just hate that.
Doesn't mean it doesn't feel like shit.
It bothers me a lot.
Yeah.
Also something that...
I mean, did it completely surprise you? You completely
I wasn't
caught off
surprised.
So you knew it was
It was
happen.
the fact, what bothered me is she planned it out and did it in front of my daughter. But I'll deal with it. Because she knows I'll never swing on her because She's the mother to the people I love the most. I can't have no beef with someone I love his mother. Like, if your homeboy, could you have a beef with one of your homeboy's mothers? It'll be squashed no matter what it is. Because you respect your brother, your friend.
Right,
So
right,
how
right.
could you disrespect
I
and
mean, I
have a
wouldn't
beef
get
with the
involved
mother of
with.
the person
Yeah, I wouldn't even
that
get
you love the
involved with
most?
her at that level.
So I'm like, I'm not gonna be beefing with your mother. You my daughter. That's your mother. I love you too much to hurt you by hurting your mother. But the mother knows this shit, so I can't swing. I gotta internalize. But whatever.
And when you
And
mean
then,
swing, you mean defend yourself. You don't.
yeah, when
I
I
just want to
defend
make sure
myself, I have to showcase
that's
what's
clarified.
unfair and illegal about
Yeah,
what
yeah,
that person
yeah.
is doing.
You're not talking about really.
Yeah.
I just want to
So
make
I'll
sure.
move on.
Yeah.
So then, David
Yeah.
Mays always
Y'all,
sends.
because you know people out here, they don't know. You know, they see, they hear things. I want to make sure that's clarified.
Yeah.
Yeah, you feel me?
David Mays, he started the Source magazine. He always sends me shit when Vlad is fucking with me. I don't give a fuck. And what I know is that people say my name because I'm clickbait. You know, when you say my name and you beefing with me, there's going to be a certain amount of.
Do you not give a fuck?
Well, I'm gonna tell you. When I hear about it, it bothers me to want to punch and knock a nigga's teeth
There we
out,
go. Speak on it.
like Vlad. But I would never do that because I think he works for the police. And I know personally that I checked him before because he wanted me to gossip about Jay-Z and I wouldn't. And he was like, yo, you're gonna not talk about Jay-Z, but you're gonna talk about him with.
So that's
And
that's
then,
where.
and then he's gonna go and call. He told me like, or told my man Kenyatta, what do you think? Uh, Complex, because they were doing the ads, is gonna think when they messed with their, you know, he just pulled the Becky, and I know he's butthurt, and he keep talking about me, but as long as I know that my name is profitable, no matter how you talk about me, I got to expect that people are going to talk about me. And the way I break it down is like, as long as you're saying my name, I don't care.
What's at the root of the issue between you and Vlad? Really, like it's
I told you,
Seems like it's something a little more than
I had to
business.
check him before because he's a culture vulture, and I think he's a fed. And, you know, he wants to make money off the dysfunction of our culture. And, you know, I just think I'm dangerous because I contradict everything he represents. But for me, I'm like, yo, he's easy work. A white man trying to talk about black culture, illegal things, or trying to trigger people to say things and make money off it. That's traditionally what they do. But
there
I'm
was a
saying,
time you guys were at a cordial
well,
point, right?
I mean,
Wasn't
yeah, I used to let him interview me, but when he was telling me his business model, I'm like, yo, you interview people and you make money off traffic, but do you pay the people you interview? And he said no. And I culture vulture. And stop acting like a big cat and you a fucking kitten. And also, again, you know, like the algorithm that you represent isn't really that positive. So my algorithm is inspiration, not desperation.
So you think it's more of a fundamental difference?
I think he works for people that want to hurt our culture. You know, like when my friends come home from jail, if they get on his shit, I'm like, yo, now you on that list. You might not go to jail, but your friends will. And he profits from that. But at the end of the day, the things I was hearing was like, yo, do you think he feels away because Jay has this? I'm not counting ever another man's money. And my wealth comes from my family. And
Do you feel the need to even tell any of these people about any of these?
and
You know, as far as
only when I talk to
people
my
speculate
therapist.
about.
Only when I talk to my therapist.
Yeah.
My ego wants to say he's pussy in front of people. But that's not the most sophisticated thing for a 51-year-old to do.
Yeah.
But of course I have it. You know, I'm not going to say I don't.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'd be like, damn, I wish I could get a fair one on him and knock his teeth out. And I understand the fact that he's exploiting the culture for his own personal gain, but it's so stereotypical. But I just feel like I'm the man that needs to call people out by name.
I think it's a lesson to be learned, not just, you know, for us sitting up here, but for people that's watching, that, you know, even at this business level, you know, when things are going well, you know, the fact that you're admitting to yourself that, yeah, you know what, this bothers me. Because a
But
lot of times we're taught, like you said earlier, we're taught to say, hey, if I say this is bugging me, that's weakness. You know what I'm saying? But it's the process and
It's
how
a
you're
trigger,
dealing with it.
but
It's a trigger, but you're dealing with it in a healthy
well, I want to be
manner,
clear. It's
and that's,
about when
you know,
you're triggered, how long you let the triggering last.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, oh, that was a jab,
it's not
a
weakness
little
to
burn.
get triggered. That's what I'm saying.
But then
That's
I
not a
laugh
weakness.
at it. But I do feel like, I think niggas sometimes think I'm soft, or sometimes I'd be like,
Why do you think, why would they think that?
because I've been investing so much in this dream I have, that I've only focused on that. I haven't regulated certain things in a couple of years. And I'm about to start regulating certain things to the extent that it's like, yo, if you got $5 and I'm chasing $1 million, I ain't stopping chasing that $1 million to deal with that $5. These are $5 problems. Vlad is a $5 nigga. I'll get with him when I got time. I only have time when I'm doing therapy and it's being recorded. But when I do have, it doesn't profit enough to pay attention to it, but I deal with it so I don't pay attention to it for a long period of time. So for me, reacting is not a problem, but staying in that moment too long is a problem because it distracts you from doing things like fighting for your dreams.
So what are some of the things that you've done to stay in the present and not let those things take up a significant part of your
I
existence?
celebrate my family. I celebrate the things I didn't have that I have now. And I celebrate the future.
So,
And I celebrate being creative. But more than anything, I celebrate the things that I was fighting for that I didn't have, that I have now, like a child.
how would you paraphrase that to the person watching, saying, yo, when I'm going through these mental problems in this industry, how do I deal with that? How would
You deal with it by understanding what the most important currency is. It's not money or fame or what somebody else thinks. It's about making the people you love happy. That's my currency. And that's what makes me happy, being creative and watching creatives be empowered. So what I wanted to do is,
So why do you think these things are happening, looking at it like that?
they're always a test. It's always a test to see how I'm gonna react. If I can find the yin and the yang and everything, if I can find only the negative, I fail. If I can find the positive, I won. And if I could celebrate the positive and put the negative in my rear view instead of harping on the negative, I've won. It's almost like teasing somebody. If you snapping on me and I'll be like, yo, I'm gonna punch you in your face, then they won because I got so serious that I want to hurt you.
Right. And I think too, the lesson too is that even when you get to a certain place in your therapy or in your healing, doesn't mean bad things are just gonna stop happening.
No.
You know,
Tests are always gonna happen.
That's what's gonna test this process that
But
you
some
go
niggas
through
need to get
in
smacked,
therapy.
and some niggas know that if they smack you, you going to jail. Vlad
Yeah.
is one of them cats that I think is tricking me to punch his teeth out so he could have a charge on me. But I won't. But stop talking about me just because you want to be me. You'll never be me. And your judge of success, I never compare myself to another man. Especially if I'm not a rapper and another nigga is, I can't compare myself with to that man got for his rap skills. I'm not a rapper, but I don't respect certain people as CEOs. Period.
Yeah. Yo. Drunk as fuck in a hurry, I done scuffed the roller on the color. I was seeing double bugging off that brown shit that used to have my mama worried. Married to the game, I took a knee, a holy matrimony. Still from the plug and never fuck with cash that's phony. Make a deal and crack the 40, course I got that ratchet on me. Turn this bitch to a massacre if y'all start acting froggy. Back me in the corner, show you how I back these fuckers off me. Yo, hey yo, 42 straight out the bottle, plus a shotty, so I'm seeing double. Been the underdog my whole life, now why the fuck would I be humble? Hey yo, I'm Mowgli in the streets, I'm navigating through the jungle. Hey yo, peep the Steezo, young Debo, move a kilo. I got this shit up in the back pocket, call me EO. Yo, and my breath smell like a 40, back. Yo. Hey yo, what's the situation? I just got off probation. I ain't smoking blunt in 6 months. I'm about to play something. Shorty on my line said she probably on the way or something. Oh, she probably lying. I ain't even gon' wait. Walking through the room, I feel like Don Corleone. Crack my swig and handle beers. Crack my knuckles, handle beers. Turn the picture like Donnie Darko. Saw myself in a scared case, sipping Merlot. Crib like an art show. Keep that shit going.
I wanted to bring Sheron Barber up here. Come on up. And I wanted to let him speak. It's a guy I respect, and he's going through, he has a baby, but I just feel like he might have some shit he want to talk to you about. Sheron Barber, he makes $5,000 letters. Love it.
What's up, bro? All right.
Then you keep telling me I gotta come sit with you.
Nah, no doubt. All right.
Little therapy.
I mean, it's
Be transparent.
one thing I found
Being
with mental
vulnerable
health is that it's
being
involved in
confident.
everything. You know what I mean? A lot of times we don't think about mental health in the form of business. You know what I mean? How it affects your business life, you know, your emotional life, you know, and things like that. So with a lot of the people that I deal with in psychology own big companies, and, you know, they are responsible for a lot of people. And they've come to realize that even having a mental health department within your business is important. You know what I mean? Because if the people that's under you is got, you know, everything's working correctly, you know, it affects the bottom line in the way that you desire. You know what I mean? So, you know, Dame obviously being an entrepreneur, you know what I mean? He makes it a big part of his business model. You know what I mean? So he often will tell people, you know, hey, yeah, you know, maybe you should try some, you know, some therapy or talk to somebody. You know what I mean?
One of the things, is the mic on? Should I use the mic? Do I need the mic? Use the mic? One of the things that I deal with is I push people, right? And I think I'm from Camden, New Jersey. So
Okay.
like I
I
grew
know
up
a little bit about it. I lived in
Yeah.
Patterson for a little bit.
Yeah, you know the
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah,
So
yeah.
like, you know, grew up poor, inner city, never really had much. And like me and my friends, like, you could tell I'm with my friends if we conversing, it look like we arguing. Like we
Yeah.
lock horns. Like we like, you know, still sharp and still, we like pits. Like, so the people I care about, I push them the most. I push them the hardest. And a lot of the times the problems that I have in business is like I've realized that I'm not a businessman trying to start a business. I more so look at myself as a king trying to form a kingdom. So I never take days off. I never take a moment to myself. I'm not looking at like a 40-hour work week. So when I have employees, I push them to work how I'm working. You know, so if something needs to be done and they can get it done by working a 12-hour day, I expect them to work the 12-hour day.
How are you communicating that to them?
I think like I wear my heart on my sleeve. So like I feel like most of the people around me know my heart is pure. But it's been brought to my attention that sometimes I push people too hard. Sometimes I don't verbalize things enough. Like I expect people to just understand me or to understand what I need or what I want. So it's been issues with that. And it's usually, the issues aren't usually with my core team that's been there for a long time. It's with the new people that kind of come around. They like, yo, you let him do that. Or they, you know, it's, you know, in fashion, right? I can say like, yeah, even if we use like a Diddy analogy, you remember Diddy sent them to go get the cheesecake?
Yeah.
Well, you know, in the music, people push the interns hard. In the fashion business, people push, like I push my design team hard. I push my producers hard. Like, yo, this has to be perfect.
Yeah.
Like it can't be mediocre, right? And I think we live in like a mediocre society. So I'm always pushing for things to be exceptional. And what happens is
Do you acknowledge when they do meet expectation?
I do. I definitely do. But
See, in psychology, they got in psychology they got something called occupational therapy, right? And it's for like people, like I said, that own businesses, and it teaches them like how to. And some of the colleges is gonna hate me for this because it's free game, but basically, they teach you about how to address your peoples. You know what I mean, and how to make, because you're managing different personalities, you're managing minds, and you know people see things different. It's a lot of different perspectives, and you know what I mean, and there's more of a science to it than people think. You know what I mean?
I think the problem with me, I like when you said, do I acknowledge when they do good? I think I do acknowledge good work, but I also know that people want me to give them that, but I never even give myself that. Like, you know, people can say, "Oh, this is amazing,"
So
and for me, I'm like,
are you doing yourself wrong?
maybe, because I've never done anything perfect.
So
Right? So I'm like, people can say, "Oh, this is perfect," and I'm like, it's like an 8.7. What are you talking about? Like I'm fighting to get it to 9.5.
but if you're saying you never rest and you never do these things, right? You're lacking on self-care, right? Would you say that?
Emotionally, probably not physically. Like, you know, I go to the spa a lot. My manufacturing facility is in Turkey, so I go to the hammam a lot. I might go to the spa 2-3 times a week because I literally, the stress starts affecting me physically.
So you are resting.
I just had a new son, so not for the last month, but
That's
prior to that,
understandable. That's
for the most
understandable.
part, like I sleep in spurts. Like I get an hour here, 2 hours there, 4 hours over.
Well, I ain't got to tell you, you know, again, I've struggled with that. And I know that's not the healthy way to be, you know, to be at your maximum level. You know what I mean? And, you know, if you're not operating at optimal levels, your business won't operate at optimal levels, including the people. You know
Like
what I mean?
recently,
So you have to, when I say self-care, if you're not tending to yourself, and these are sometimes you don't know how to tend to yourself. You know, that's part of being in therapy or talking to somebody or doing self-reflection. You start to see those areas that you didn't know that were going untended. You get what I'm saying? And so when you say, hey, I don't give myself those you know, whatever you want to call them, you know, outs, or, you know, I don't give myself that kind of, you know, space to, you know, or myself that grace. Feel me? If you're doing yourself wrong, it could be possible that there could be something you could be doing better on this end. You know what I mean? Because it all starts with self. You know, everything that you internalize gets externalized. You know, it all works together. You know what I mean? So, like in football, where they be like, yo, at the end of the day, it's the head coach. When everything falls apart, you know what I mean? So it's like, you got to model the things, you know, you're modeling the work ethic aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? But you got to make sure that you're modeling all the other aspects too, like, you know, the appreciation aspect. You know what I mean? Not saying that you're not, but I'm saying as an example, if you're not appreciating yourself the way you need to be appreciating, then you're probably not appreciating them either. And you just don't know. It's nothing you're doing on purpose. You know what I'm saying? It's how we raise a lot of times. You know what I mean? Especially when you come from the hustle and bustle life. You know, it's like you get that like that focus that you need. You need that focus. You know what I mean? But they don't teach us. See, the other folks know this. You know, they know about structuring their business. They know about everything they've done to our communities has been a mental thing. They know all this shit. You feel me? So when you're structuring your company, the psychological aspect of yourself is an important part, because that's going to externalize into your business and into the personal life of the people that's working with you. You know what I mean? So it's important, the self part, and making sure, you know, and again, it's not, obviously you're doing a lot of things correctly, because, you know, you're doing well for yourself, making your name and doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? But when the people that are working for you, when you have those kinds of questions, you know, you look here just like you're doing. So I commend you on that part, because you're already on the right path.
like it was a moment where I could recall, and I had an employee, and he would always mess up on little stuff, and I would always be cool with it. And it was actually a couple of employees, and I was working on Tiana Taylor's RV, right? So she gave me her RV to work on. I didn't really want to do it because it's not something that I would typically do. And I let my a woman that was working for me convince me that she could project manage it. And it's just to give you an idea of like in life of what stresses me out and how I push people.
Yeah.
So I agreed to take her RV. I let my project manager work it out. She brought in some women to work on it. A month went by, 2 months went by. It was supposed to be ready. I went and checked on it. They destroyed her RV. They destroyed it. Like they tried to pour epoxy on the floor. It had like an expanding wall. The epoxy glued it shut.
Damn.
They tried to paintbrush the cabinets, right? And this was something that she assured me that she had under control.
Right.
And when I see that, I'm like, I now have to either pay to fix this and or explain to Tiana Taylor that I've ruined her RV, right? And she don't know my assistant. She don't know the 4 people that's working on this project. She's gonna look at me like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
You know, so I have to internalize that, right? And a lot of the times I deal with shit. So I'm like,
And it's a good reason to be upset.
yeah.
You weren't doing nothing wrong by being
Right.
upset about
And it's
that.
like, you know, first of all, why are you just, because she stalled me for like literally 6-7 weeks before I seen it. So why am I just seeing it? How did you let them get to this point? You kept me away from it. How did you let them paint the cabinets with paintbrushes? Like, this is a epoxy on the floor. So I said, stop. Because when I came, they were still painting. I said, stop, just stop, just stop. And they would stop. I said, yo, everybody get the fuck out of the RV. Like, don't nobody touch nothing. Just leave it alone. And then, you know, that was a moment where my boy is like, yo, you know, you can't talk to them like that. And I'm like, yo, they fucking destroyed this fucking RV, bro. This is $100,000 RV. So then I hop in the RV, pissed. I take it
So
across
what was you,
town.
what were you cursing at, or what were you doing?
I ain't bug out because it was, to be honest with you, like 2 of the women working on it was like older black women. So
Yeah.
I'm not disrespectful.
Yeah.
But I definitely said how I felt.
Right,
You know, and it was
right.
definitely like, don't touch shit. Just don't touch shit. So I get in the RV, I drive it to another part of town, and I take it to a guy who I know is capable. And he's like, yo, this is bad. So they have to undo it. They like the epoxy resin. It's just a terrible thing. So he's like, I can't work on this. But I can refer you to somebody. Just a long thing. But that, I hired another project manager who messed it up. I ended up firing him. And I had her RV for 6 months. But it's put so much strain. I think I spent 80 grand trying to fix it. It ruined my relationship with her. She's calling me. And another thing, and this takes me into another issue that I have, is like working with people. I hate letting people down. And it's nothing makes me more uncomfortable than when I give somebody my word. Like if I tell Mike to come meet you and now you're not there on time, I feel responsible to Mike, right? Because I'm like, I put my word on the line for you. So I'm real big on being accountable. And nothing makes me more angry than when a person who I put in the equation is not being held, you know, not being accountable in the way that they say they will. And I find myself in that predicament a lot.
Do you find yourself expecting people to be like that, like you are?
I expect people to be accountable. And I think that's another issue that I have is I think in society right now, I feel like accountability is at an all-time low. Like I stay at a hotel, the customer service sucks. I'm at an airline, the customer service sucks. And nobody takes accountability. Nobody does like great work anymore. Right. Like nobody takes pride in what they do, especially here in America, to keep a buck with you. That's why I spend a lot of time in Europe, because I feel like a whole nother subject, but like there's a lot more pride in the work that's being done. Like you go get a coffee and there's a kid at a coffee shop who works for a father who worked at the coffee shop, and it was founded by the grandfather, so they care about that cup of coffee. Where here, when you go buy the cup of coffee, the kid don't give a shit about the cup of coffee. He's just trying to make his $20 an hour and get the hell out of there.
Right.
And I think for me, because I think I have decent taste and I like nice things, I have high expectations, and I struggle. I feel like no one takes accountability for the things that they have going on, right? And at the same time, I'm a person who always tries to be held accountable, so much so that it's constantly eating at me.
So, I mean, do you find that a lot of people around you, so to speak, not necessarily in the culture or on social media, but just around you, do you find that those people aren't taking accountability?
that opens up a whole nother can. I try to eliminate the people who don't hold good accountability, right? So you'll see me with I'm only around a few people. Like you'll see me, I'm with Barter, I'm with Dame, my brother is here. I don't really rock with people who can't be held accountable. Like I try to minimize my exposure because it hurts you more than it helps you. And I find myself being vulnerable to attack because of other people that I've had around me. You know,
I mean, because obviously there's something about your present situation that's bothering you about that. So I'm trying to see, like, because you're saying that on one hand, you're saying, well, you know, I kind of deal with the people I feel aren't being held accountable. You know what I mean? And when you say accountable, do you mean like in the personally, like personal life or business life, or like, because there's levels to even that. You know?
I think it's both. I think it's both. And my personal life, I think is pretty. My personal life and business life is very intertwined. I usually don't make a lot of time for people in my personal life unless it makes sense for my business.
Well, okay. Well, let's look at that. Right? Is it more personal or more business? Because you're saying, well, I don't really incorporate them into my personal life unless they right for my business.
I wouldn't say it's that. I think it's that I believe like if you want to relate to the man, you relate to his mission.
Yeah.
I don't really have like I don't like just smoke or drink or chill, right? Like I'm a fashion guy. So if you're into fashion, it makes it easier for me to get cool with you.
Right.
If you're creative, it makes it easier for me to get cool with you. If you have a vision, if you are persistent in your vision, like if we go hang out and you just talk about like what the Lakers did and the weather, I'm probably not gonna hang with you again. But if we go hang out and you working on your whole network and you're trying to figure out how to market it, I enjoy that. So
Right.
we'll probably find a means for a friendship in that.
Right. Now, the reason why I ask is because, especially in this industry, you know, whether it's fashion or, you know, music or film, whatever, the entertainment, you know, they're all kind of commingled together. You know what I mean? I find that people will base their whole lives around their profession, which is theoretically what you want to do, right? To advance, you know, again, it's that laser focus that you got to have, you know? But you also can't forget that there's other vibrations in life that have nothing to do with that business focus. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you can have those friends that, man, this dude will jump in front of a train for you. You know what I mean? He loves you to death, but he not the one to do business with. You know what I mean? Like you just know that. It's like, he not a businessman. He not, because some people, they'll be great friends, but they don't know how to be businessmen. So they might do something in business to them, they're not really necessarily doing something wrong to them. Doesn't mean that they're not doing something wrong. You know what I mean? But it's like they might not know the natural way to be in business. You know, because just like there's rules to being friends and associates and, you know, acquaintances, you know, there's rules in business too, you know, of common courtesy type things, especially when you're a genuine person yourself. But again, that person might not be the right person to do business with, but you might share common interests. It's like, yo, I just love this person. You know, I think it's important to have that balance of people that have nothing to do with, you know what I'm saying? And that doesn't mean they're not interested in it. That doesn't mean they can't share your passion for it and all of that. But it's just like some people, you know, that's where all these quotes come from, where they be like, you don't know somebody till you do business with them. That comes from those experiences. Right. You know what I mean? And I don't know how correct that quote is or not, but that's where you get those kinds of sayings from, you know? So obviously we're not gonna solve those problems in this one sitting, but I would encourage you to analyze some of your attachments and what the reasoning is for those attachments and what are those attachments. Because sometimes when we get so close mingled between being homies and being businessmen and, You know, it's like sometimes, like you could say something to somebody in business, right? That you're not necessarily friends with. You'll just say something that's just business. It's not too soft. It's not too this. It ain't too aggressive. It's just like, yo, this business. Da 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 da. Right? You could say that same thing to this person over here that you're doing business with, but they're your homie or they're your friend, and you say it just like that. But now it's like, why are you talking to me like that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So again, there's levels to it, you know? And like I said, I would encourage you to just kind of analyze those attachments, because it seems like your business and your personal are so like together, like, you know,
Yeah.
you know, maybe, and sometimes when I find with people that take that journey and kind of do some of this research on themselves, they find things about themselves that they don't even know, or interests, you know, you open yourself up to certain things, you know, because at the end of the day, you want a space, even if this is your piece, like fashion might be your piece, you know what I'm saying? But because it's like with music, like when you incorporate the business into it, it takes away from some of that piece, you know what I'm saying? So that means that you got to find something else. You got to find another spot where it's just peace.
Right.
You know what I mean? And sometimes that's the problem that we have, that when we're so caught up in this business, is that everything is this. Like even when we're in the studio, like if you're, you know, I've dealt a lot in the music industry. So it's like, even when you're in the studio, it's like, I've seen artists, you know, if it affects them there, you know, they're not completely happy, even though this is supposed to be what they love doing. This is supposed to be what they love to do for free. But yet they can't even find the happiness in that no more, because all these other things are involved now. You know what I mean? So just doing the research on yourself, not only will it open up certain reasons that you didn't know about why things might be happening, but you might also discover something new that's positive for you, or a place to go or something. You know what I mean?
I also I find myself struggling with sometimes I feel like a person, like somebody trying to take advantage, right? And I think like it's really like and it's some hood shit. I really be trying to shake it, and sometimes I feel like I got it shook, and then I get taken back. I guess I call it like like a person having you fucked up, right? It'd be like, and I struggle with this as a black man. Like, is a like, do I find strength in like knocking somebody's head off, or like
In our culture, yeah.
or removing myself
Yeah.
and being like,
Well, that's the thing. We got to acknowledge in our culture, yeah, sometimes you do find power in that. It might be the wrong kind of power, but it might work in that specific situation. You know what I mean? We come from shit,
right,
and all we know is like wartime. That's again, that's our PTSD. That's your PTSD kicking in. You know what I mean? Because when somebody does you wrong in those environments, it's like life or death sometimes, or a lot of times, you know? And although we're cognizant of, we could be in certain environments where we know that kind of reaction wouldn't be the smartest thing, it doesn't mean that volcano ain't building, because we're used to
I
internalizing
find myself
things
like
that.
I'm gonna say 4 times in the last year, I found myself just in a vibe. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, what the fuck am I doing right now? I'm bugging, and it's like, I think as I get, it's funny because as I get older, I'm better at not reacting.
Sure.
But when I get triggered, when I actually get triggered, it's harder for me to not respond.
For sure.
So like when I was younger, like I would get triggered, I would be more triggered all the time, but I could like control myself. Now, like when I don't get triggered all the time because I can control that emotional part. But when I do get triggered, it's like I'm 0 to 100 now, and it's like,
what are the environments? Okay, what's going on around you when you get triggered like that? What are the commonalities? Like, what's triggering you off to that point?
I've found that I don't drink much, right? But I found that when I'm drinking, or when I'm around other people that's drunk and they like clumsy drunk, or they like you know, I'm like, what the fuck is you doing? Why y'all keep bumping me? Like, why?
You
know
don't
what I
like
mean?
belligerent joints.
Yeah, I don't like belligerence. Period. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like sloppy shit. Like,
Right.
what y'all doing? So I found like the club ain't really for me no more. Like, don't be up in the club and don't be in there drinking because it might get, you know, you might
Well, that's a
feel
good
some
thing
type
that
of
you're
way.
doing to help with that.
And then I struggle, and I've acknowledged this. Like, I struggle with authority. Cause I just, you know, it's like you don't have authority over me. So when I enter into certain, my thing is I'm so polite and so respectful. Don't touch me. There's no reason for nobody to ever touch me.
Well, that don't have nothing to do with authority.
Cause I think I could be going through the airport and I'll have an issue with the TSA guy.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes I think it's really an internal thing. Cause I'll be like,
So if somebody's like searching you or something,
what the fuck is you doing? Like, why are you touching me? Like I don't want to sound too egotistical, but it's like, yo, I'm like, you know who, like, and not who I am like celebrity, like who I am like as a man or as a man of God. Like when I'm moving through, you're supposed to just know my heart chakra is open, like move. I'm moving on a certain energy, like I shouldn't be getting slowed down.
Are they just doing their job?
Yeah, but that's where I think
We'll put it
it'd be like
this.
they're not doing a good job. Like it's like this, right? Like,
Yeah.
and again, there's no way for me to not make this sound arrogant. This is something I'll talk about with Dame,
No,
but
for
it's
sure.
like we running through the airport, like you making $20 an hour, bro. You like slowing us down, like right now for this dumb shit. You know what we trying to do
Is
right
it the
now?
search or the way they searching? Because sometimes
It's a combination of it. Cause it's like you don't have the like what the fuck makes you think you got the authority, bro? Like get the fuck out the way. Like and I really struggle with it. Like I could any command, like once anybody starts giving commands, and I'm telling you this because we
no, for sure. That's
like whenever somebody starts laying out commands, I feel deeply offended. Like deeply offended. Like we could be walking and somebody be like, y'all walk this way. And I'm like, who the fuck is you talking?
When was the
I
first-
don't know why I feel so harshly about it.
When was the first time you noticed yourself being like that?
I've known I had authority issues my whole life, but now it's getting worse. It's getting worse. Like it's getting worse to the point like if I'm about to fly a flight and I know I'm gonna have to deal with like TSA and security, I'm like I might have to take a jet or we might have to like I have anxiety going through the airport. Like when you start going through my bags, like bro, you going through my personal shit. Like you touching my underwears, bro. Like what are you going through my bag for? Like I be really suffering. At the TSA camp, don't let them pull my bag out and start searching it. I'm throwing a tantrum. And I'm like, I'll have an attitude now as I'm walking through the airport. And now that attitude is affecting how I'm interacting with everybody in the airport now. That's ruining my airport experience. Or
what are you usually in the airport for? What are you doing?
Bro, I'm in the airport 3-4 times a week just
doing what though?
Working.
That's a blessing.
Allegedly.
Is it?
I mean, it's a blessing. I asked for that.
Would you rather be doing the
I asked for that. Like, I'd
do
rather
the 9 to 5?
I'd rather not be in the factory having an issue with that
Right.
type of authority.
So would you say things are going well?
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
So, okay. Let's do some imagery. All right. So, you're not the cubicle guy, right? You're not the guy that's gonna be working in the cubicle and doing all that. That's the sense I get, right? Now, if you was a guy doing in the cubicle, which is nothing wrong with that, you know what I mean? Like any type of employment, if you getting your money, get your money. You know what I mean? But it's good to acknowledge when certain things aren't for you. That's how I am as well. You know. But if you was in that cubicle and you was an entrepreneur, because a lot of people are in cubicles and they're trying to do what you're doing, right? This is just what they're doing for the moment. And their dream is to be going through that airport and dealing with them problems, right? So one thing I do, because I find myself dealing with that too sometimes. One thing I do is I try to remember the blessing of what's happening while I'm in this airport. That's what works for me.
See, I'm a victim of my own way of thinking, but I'm not willing to abandon my way of thinking.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm a victim, like if you think about it, right? Like you think about traffic, right? Like
is that to your detriment or to your?
It could be, but I'm not willing to surrender it yet until I figure out if it is or not. And it may be too late.
And that's good. No, it's never too late.
Because if you look at, I think of it looking like this, right? You got like traffic. And if we all put in our GPS, how long does it take us to get from here to DTLA? Everybody go like, oh, it's 18 minutes, right?
Right.
And some people use Waze, they start puning, right? So everybody's gonna get there in 15, 18 minutes. If you willing to run some lights, you're gonna get there quicker. For me, I'm gonna run the light because I feel like the light, this is my way of thinking. For me, the light is artificial. There's a barrier put there for the people who are afraid to run it. So because you're afraid to run that light, it's going to take you 18 minutes. It's going to take me 13 because I don't give a fuck about that light because that light was put there by somebody who wants to control everything. Some days I'm like, yo, I'm going to catch a fucking helicopter. We're going to get there in 7 minutes. We're going to fly over all this dumb shit. So me being like that has allowed me to achieve levels of success that most people won't achieve because I'm willing to do what I have to do and sacrifice the fact that I might get pulled over. I might not stop if they try to pull me over because I'm just like, I'm going where the fuck I'm going and you don't have the authority to stop me because I'm a man on this planet I'm a king.
So why do you
I'm
feel,
en route.
So why
now with that, as a king en route, right? The cop might try to pull me over and I might be like, I don't have to stop for you. I don't have to stop for you because I'm a king.
No, hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah.
So
hold on. So So you said the cop could be chasing you, and you don't have to stop.
I might feel in my heart like I don't have to stop for you. Who you?
Yeah, and you don't.
Right.
You don't have to. But you know.
And it might not be a cop. It might be a security guard today. And it's like, who the fuck is you? Like you can't tell me what.
And you know the possible consequences of that, right?
Yeah. And I'm constantly.
And you're happy with that.
Not necessarily. I struggle with it because it's conflict there. And then, so my girl might be like, yeah, because you wanted to. And it's like, yeah, because I'm not standing over there with all them. Those are the people who don't.
You know how I know that I think that you'll make the right decision in that? Because you here talking to me right now. So you've done pretty good up to this point.
The bad part, though, is
because usually the first time people run away from the police, they'll be in jail or dead.
The more I'm in it, the more I lean towards doing what I want.
Yeah.
And I believe I have the right. It's like I know I can do what I want because I know my purpose is God driven. Like God put me on a mission. So it's like I can't stop. I can't stop. It's like if I'm driving my girl to the hospital because she's pregnant and the cops get behind me, I can't stop.
So
fuck what y'all talking about. I'm still going.
So what's the confliction?
Every once in a while, it leads to altercation. In the altercation, once it's over, now we play the fault game, right? Because now it's like, oh, well, why'd you keep going? And it's like, because I don't have to stop. And it's like, what is law? Now somebody's telling me, well, there's laws.
Are you happy not having to stop?
I'm cool not stopping.
You cool not stopping?
I'm cool not stopping.
But
I can
not
tell you this.
Stopping?
I'm gonna give you other examples of not stopping, right? Because I don't want to make it seem like I'm just out here running from the cops every night. Because I'm a very peaceful dude.
Yeah, I figured
like,
you sitting here free, so I figured you ain't running from cops every day.
I park where I want.
Yeah.
Every month I get $2,000 in tickets.
I think he has authority issues.
I don't pay toll.
Hey, but you know what though? Listen, if you want to get $2,000 worth of tickets and you could pay it, and you cool with that?
Sometimes I don't pay it. Sometimes I don't pay it because I'm like, I'm not paying that.
Hey, Mika, can you pick up some audio if I talk into the mic?
Yeah, just be close to Taje.
So, Sheron comes from a place of survival.
Yeah.
And the laws that exist in survival mode sometimes don't behoove you. And sometimes if you don't listen to what people say and you do what you want to do, you have a better...
He knows that.
That's what's happened for him. But what I've noticed is he's reached a level of success where he still thinks he could be doing shit that's mischievous and trolling that he could get away with, but I don't know if he realizes how commercial and how much of a target he is now. So that
Let's ask him. Do you?
Let
Hold
me say
on,
this.
hold on. No. You
Let me
said
say this,
something.
let me say
Let me
this.
ask him. Do you feel like that?
See, I think I challenge the status quo constantly. Like, if it's a rule, I'm like, why is that rule there and who created it? And how do you get to inflict that on me?
I have PTSD because everything people told me not to do, when I did it, it worked out. And the laws that were presented to me didn't behoove me, so I kind of sometimes broke them until I couldn't break them no more. I couldn't break them no more when I got too famous. And I don't know if he knows how famous he is. But sometimes your opinions are things that, if you put them into something like that you're selling, that could be considered almost like the situation that we got into with the showing a movie.
Yeah. No.
Just
I
not
get it.
being
Even
conscious
that
of it.
authority, like people want to tell you, like I was somewhere, right? Like political stuff. Like I have opinions, and sometimes people don't want you to have an opinion,
No,
or they'll tell you like you can't say that
People
because
that-
of who you are now.
people that are trying to control you don't want you to have an opinion.
Like a lot of people,
People
I'm
that
around a
wanna
lot of
learn from you
people.
want to hear what your opinions are.
Sometimes
Like, let me ask you a question. You and I, when we talk, I always ask your opinion,
that's why me and you so cool.
but you also ask my opinion.
Absolutely.
So people that don't want to hear opinions don't want to hear opinions because it behooves them for you not to be confident in what you think.
Cause you
That's
got
how I
these
look
new
at
like
it.
group opinions. It's like we all have to agree on everything or we can't be cool. And it's like I don't agree with half of this shit y'all saying.
Are these people
You
these
take
are?
pride in that. That's what makes you different.
I'm cool with not
Then
right.
you'd rather it.
But sometimes when
Me
you reach
too.
when there's when you become like a public figure, it could affect your business. It's like if I go up there and say that I'm not giving up my gun, y'all bugging. Right now, it's like a whole group of people who don't want to buy a Sheron
Yeah, but
Barber
you'll
bag now.
But you'll have a bunch of fans that will because you have that posture. I think Kanye is the perfect example of that. And Trump. Because so many people disagree with what he's saying, a bunch of people support it.
Right.
So that's what trolling is. Supporting opinions that most people don't have the heart to say. So that's why people support me, because I say things people feel.
I would
Because
just
they're scared to say it. That's why people support you. Even down to Barter. Where Barter go? Come on up here, Barter. Let Barter get some.
I would say this. Just in
Before
close.
you
Hold on.
leave,
In
before
closing. In closing, what I would say is like you put a lot into your business. You know, it seems like that's your whole life is about your business. You know, and the thing is, if you do something, you're the engine behind this business. All right. It's not a smart business move to do things that's gonna put you at risk, especially when it don't need to be.
Like your Instagram.
So now I don't again, whatever that entails. Again, that's not it would take obviously more than one conversation to address all those things. But whatever that entails to you, I got to do the same thing. I come from the same thing you do. He'll tell you that. You know what I mean? So I know the issues.
So do you feel strong or do you feel subdued when you want to react, but you feel like you
feel
can't?
human.
Yeah.
You feel human.
Yeah. And that.
It's human to feel these things, but it's gangster to control it.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? To recognize how you feel. Because for me, I'd be like, everybody feels a certain way, but not everybody reacts a certain way.
And there's nothing wrong with protecting yourself against those things, but doing it in a way that's not to your own self-detriment.
Because what I end up doing is I start saying like I create a barricade. Like I want less people to have access to me, right? Because I don't like judgment. So it's like if I only deal with 5 people, right? Or if it creates that scenario where if I'm in the club now, it's good to have a person in front of you or security so you can block that off, right? A publicist so you don't have to answer this, right? And I find myself like
now you see,
the further I go, the less people I want to communicate with because I feel less relatable.
Nah.
Because less people know how I feel now.
I'm coming from where you're coming from, pause. You realize that you're more evolved and you don't want to judge people for not being as evolved as you, but you don't want to be triggered because of the
Because if you say things like you're more evolved, now everybody like, what you think? You better than me? What you think?
I don't give a fuck.
And it's like, I'm not trying to say that. I'm just trying to protect myself and what I've learned. And so I find myself in a bubble. And then, you go talk to people and they like, oh, he changed or he don't. hit me up or
That's what I
don't.
do.
I'm bubbled up.
But
Pause.
if you've put these people outside of that bubble, you've done it for a reason. You know what I mean? Now, you don't want to get to a point extreme isolation, you don't want that either. You know what I mean? So everything's about balance. But if these people have been put, but I'm saying, I'm talking about the personal people in his life. If you got the personal people in your life that's over here, that you put over here, who cares what they saying? Why is it even bothering you? I want to know why it's bothering you. But that could be another session.
That's another episode.
Feel me?
I want to get Barter up here. Thank you, Barter. My nigga. Come on, Barter. Because we about to get this money.
Yeah.
Don't do the high pitch. Don't do the high pitch. The high pitch gonna throw me off a little bit. Yeah. Therapy session with the bosses. Fresh off the plane in the hood, drop off a fresh block of that dog shit. Dame Dash, Laura Piana suit and match the Air Forces. This the thought courtship, this the thought caucus. Fuck the black caucus, we the gods talking. Blunt sparking, Premo, double mo hawking. Catch me in the colony, double parking. Skateboard flow, I'm Tony Hawking. Can't stop sparking when the punch flow. Yeah, hold up. It get deeper. 99, I used to smoke reefer. Now I grow hydro plants in the back of the man creeping. Can't stop it when the flow's sleeping. I don't got nothing. Yo. My man writing movies. Got the licensing deal in place. Bobby Seals on the jack. Matter of fact, call the Black Panthers. Make $1 million cop matching phantoms. Cullinans. 24-inch rims. Big wheels for the kids to spin the block in. My little daughter playing soccer now. Can't stop that. My little son, he wanna play hockey now. We ain't just doing basketball and football, we global. Running around with rugby jerseys on. I gotta, this one I wish I had a drink. Look. It's more boss shit and less flossing. I'm in the back of Giorgio Baldi. Lasagna, well done. The suit, pencil suit on my boss shit. Conscious thinking, conscious thoughts, kid. Hawk spit on these bastards, they can't see me, spark the matches. They can't fathom the shit I've been through. 86 countries in 4 years. Eating different foods, Italian lobster. Shish kebabs and turkey. Self-made heathen. I'm in the Nile swimming down on Egypt. Black God, Black Caesar. Black God, Black Caesar. They never thought that this kid from Camden would see this. Lunch at the Four Seasons. The flow's slow, cause I gotta take a breather, cause my thoughts ain't flowing how they used to when I was 18. They used to let the pistol blow on a nigga trying to try me. I got the Range Rover, hit the high beams. Some love me, but the rest, they don't like me. Pulled up in the range, Dame said that's low key, it's not like me. Said it looked like I'm on the motherfucking Air Force One Nike. They used to seeing me in my Laurel Piana shit. Pulling up, Cullinan whips. Might be in the McLaren or in the Lambo. Those is old whips. Might pull out in the Prius on my dope boy shit. Not trying to get caught moving inconspicuous. The flow can get ridiculous on some pimpin' shit, but I never pimp a bitch, cause I'm a real man. I
I get my money off flipping shit, flipping bricks, flipping bags, and flipping hoodies. And used to have an S-type Jag and thought that was smooth. Now I wouldn't touch an S-type Jag, that ain't smooth, that ain't cool. Just a different dude. Never one to play the fool. Sometimes I feel miserable. You get all the shit that you wanted, and you feel like you're trapped backwards, cause it ain't the shit you wanted. Stop fronting. I'm from the land where they stay gunning.
Oh, let me find out. Let me find out Ghostface Killer, the fashion killer.
What I know we've been talking. You want to introduce yourself?
My name is Barter, and I run a company called Barriers Worldwide. But I'm based in New York.
Oh.
I mean, I'm from New York, but I live in LA now. So
Okay.
I run my company.
What part of New York you from?
All over, but mostly Far Rockaway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So I moved out here to pursue fashion and other creative stuff, and I'm dealing with the same thing, life stuff and the business, and trying to just balance it. And I realized like.
LA is a traumatic place too, bro.
Yeah, I'm
like on that industry. Like this is some of the most plastic.
Yeah, it's a lot.
These people, I ain't gonna. That's why I say I feel you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man, yeah. Now go ahead.
Nah, it's a lot. Shit, just.
Barter got a lot going on. You have to unpack.
Yeah, I got a lot going on, but I don't talk about my stuff. I don't talk about anything. I just feel like I just hold it in, and I just like deal with it. But right now, I'm at the point in my life where I'm learning how to just like let go and just forgive. Like like I be having like shit on my mind that I be trying to let go, but I get like triggered, and then I think about it a lot, and then it makes me react a certain way. But I'm learning how to just like get past that reaction. Like, yo, it's cool. Like I can't just be triggered by stuff anymore.
Do you feel like you're fully like when you internalize it? What happens with it? Do you think about it? Does it bother
I
you?
realize that like even right now with me and my I'm dealing with some shit with like me and my shorty right now, and like like she done some stuff to me and vice versa where like it hurt me, and like it hurt me more than her. But right now I'm learning like just to let go. Like makes no sense to just like keep thinking about it and dwelling on it, and like
have you talked about it? You
with her?
dealt with it?
Yeah, for sure. But I feel like when I do talk about it, it's like she probably never gonna understand what I'm going through, because like I feel like for her, I want her to understand like running a business and having a baby and taking care of a family and not having a family in LA, because I'm from New York, so I have nobody to really lean on. So it's like, but she has everybody to lean on, but I'm not like cool with that side of her family. So it's like I'm still alone on my side. So it's like just dealing with that, and, like and just being a man and just trying to like take care of everything, in the family.
What about that situation is bothering you about it? Do you feel like, because it sounds like, from what you're saying, it sounds like you don't feel like heard.
Yeah, for
in
sure.
That situation.
Or appreciate it, for sure. I feel like I tried talking about it. I did therapy too. She did therapy too, but I just feel like.
What was your experience with the therapy?
I just felt like, truthfully, I just feel like my therapist just wanted my money. Like that's why like I kind of like backed off a little bit. I did therapy a few times, 2 different people, but I feel like when it gets to like the 3rd or 4th like meeting, I feel like it's just about the money, and it's like, but I feel like I really don't like. Rather than me have a therapist, I'd rather have like a mentor. So I got like Sheron, got like Dame, because they dealing with similar things, and just hearing their stories, just gonna make me move a little bit different. I feel like instead of paying for a therapist, I just need more people that's dealing with certain like similar situations to me, that could open my eyes to what I'm going through. And then
I understand how you feel. They try to put me in therapy. I was one of those kids. I was going to jail when I was when I was a teen. And I went through a bunch of therapists. And sometimes it's just not a fit. Sometimes it's not a match. You know what I mean? With that actual therapist. And I always try to validate when people feel like that, because it's legitimate. Some people just don't have good luck when it comes to getting paired with a therapist. You know what I mean? So I get that. I get that part. But the one thing, again, like you said, one of your mentors is Dame. When somebody like him is going to therapy, You know what I mean? And that's why I always stress to him that it's important how he mirrors things. Because he might have somebody like yourself who's not in therapy. You know what I'm saying? But how he's mirroring himself and doing what he's doing could rub off on you.
Yeah.
Just you being there and looking up. You know what I mean? That's why it's important for us to pass down this information.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm a therapist and I'm a psychologist, but I'm also a real person at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't categorize I'm not a therapist like personally. Like when people see me, they might just see a therapist. You know what I mean? But what made me a good therapist was actually my life experience before I went and got educated. That's really what made me a good therapist. So
What I think
what's important, hold on, I wanna, hold on, let me explain this to him. So that therapeutic bond that you're talking about that wasn't existent, you know, with those other therapists, that's very important. You know what I mean? And they missed something in that therapeutic bonding aspect of it. You know what I mean?
I always think it's because, like, I can talk to him because what he's going through, maybe it's probably worse than what I've gone through. So I know he's never judging me. And he speaks in a language that doesn't make me uncomfortable because it's more like a friend as opposed to like someone that's like, oh, I've never been through this, but I'm judging your experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I just like to drop seeds at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you choose not to go to therapy, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You're a grown man. You know what I mean? You got to handle your life.
I don't think black people should call it therapy. I think they should call it consulary. You know, like, you always need someone to give you an opinion on things from a calm place. Someone that doesn't have a dog in the fight.
Yeah.
So that you're doing things logically and cool. So when I talk to him, I'm like, after I finish, I know I'm doing everything cool, as opposed to reacting with emotion.
Yeah.
And it ain't for a boss. And you guys are bosses and CEOs. And I'm watching y'all go through what I go through. But doing it without, like, most people ain't built for that.
Yeah.
They don't take chances. They think when things aren't going their way that they accept it. They don't fight to make things like, if it ain't going your way, I'm gonna fight till it's going my way. And most people have bad taste. And they don't showcase people that fight honestly, independently, with good taste. And also people with good family values. That's culturally, like, that's what we, like, this is what it looks like to love your kids. But they won't showcase that. This is what it looks like to fight for your dreams. No one's going to showcase that because they don't want other people doing it. But this is what it looks like to fight for your dreams, have good taste, and have family values. And then have to compete with people that don't. But this is what you do. You click up with people that do. We all just had kids. We all love fashion. We all love being creative. We all love culture. We all love money.
Yeah.
You know? Ain't nothing wrong with none of those things we just said.
Yeah.
As long as we don't compromise to get it.
Yeah, facts.
But if we stick together, they can't fuck with us.
Yeah.
And if our minds are right, and the people that we love, their minds are right, then we have the currency that people will understand is the most important. That's love.
For real.
Generational love. Fuck money. Generational love.
Yeah.
What does it look like when your kids never have to do what they don't want to do, and they don't have to compromise, and they feel supported? Like the Marleys.
Yeah.
There's an arithmetic to this, though. You know what I'm saying? And like he just said, you know, it's like peeling an onion.
But they build
You know what I
bosses,
mean?
though.
No, that ain't got nothing to do with nothing,
I
though.
just want to say that.
No, that's
I
real.
love that about them.
Y'all bosses just because y'all confronting yourselves. At the end of the day, that's what I respect. Feel me? I done been around money, celebrities, all that, bro. Feel me? I respect when people are brave enough to confront themselves and question themselves, because that's the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
It's easy to go make money, bro. And I say that, you know, it's not easy for everybody, but
Yeah.
you can go get it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's not easy to confront yourself and say, you know what? Where am I fucking up with myself? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would stay in that frame of mind. You know, again, I know you've had issues with past therapists or whatever, but always just stay in that mind of self-improvement.
Yeah.
You feel me? And that can include how you are with other people. It could be how you are with yourself. It could be how you are in your relationships.
It's like a company.
You know?
Every year you got to grow 10%. So to me, every year as a person, you have to evolve at least 10%.
Yeah.
You got to get better. You
Yeah.
got to be a better person every year. You cannot be the same person for 2 years straight.
Yeah.
Or else you wasted that whole year.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And stay connected with who you are. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's more than fashion
Get the
and
band
business.
together. What I like about them is the verticals. The family, the fashion, but they make movies and they do music and they do everything that I like to do. And I'm gonna get the band because my third
Dame getting the band back together.
music. The band's never broke up.
Let's get the band
Stay
together.
happy. Hey, get
Let's
money,
go.
but stay happy doing it, bro.
Facts.
I hear your sweet melodies.
Gang.